So happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm glad that we are here in Satsang. So Yuan, let's skip the overview today. The video that actually was just lying there, I guess, recorded a while back, kind of provides the overview and goes into the practice and what it does. Uh, in some ways. So let's get there.
So I'm Sanjeev Kumar, recording in my home in Jaipur, India. And this is Guru Maharaj, Dr. Chaturbhuj Sahai Ji, who established Satsang. So I'm Sanjeev Kumar, recording in my home in Jaipur, India. And this is Guru Maharaj, Dr. Chaturbhuj Sahai Ji, who established Satsang, a unique guided meditation practice almost a century ago, once he found what he called the ocean of peace, through the process that his guru Lalaji Maharaj taught, basically made him practice. So satsang is a way in which we try to manifest transcendental energy in form of light. And the question usually is that, why light? And I feel it's one of the most powerful manifestations that can be thought of. Imagine that you feel that you are in presence of the cosmic energy. Sun with its being the source of enormous energy is probably one of the most important aspects of all life on Earth, while it is 93 million miles away. But then in the galaxy there are thousands, maybe millions, billions of suns, and we would rather imbibe that energy that makes us feel powerful. That is what is out of body experience, and that is what is higher consciousness. That is what is higher awareness, that we are not just a minute part of that energy, but we are that energy. And just when you manifest that, when you try to become that energy, the way you feel is so empowering, and that basically takes away all the worldly miseries and things that we tend to get bogged down with every day, almost instantly, effortlessly. So all we have to do is somehow figure out how do we connect with that energy. And once we are connected, it's a home run. So now the question is, one, how do we connect? Then second, how do we stay connected? Third, can we store that energy and leverage it when the connection is no longer in place? So my father used to, so first my grandfather described a process through which you can connect with that energy. And his entire meditative practice was just that. And I share that freely. I basically talk about it. When I talk about satsang, I'm talking about how do we connect with transcendental energy in form of light. Then second is that if we are able to connect, how do we stay connected? And then how do we store that energy? So if you think about energy, it's like, are you receiving? So there is a concept of a receiver. So and then there is a source, but then you have to receive, right? And then when you receive, the question is, are you able, what's your capacity, right? So my father used to take an example of a solar cell. Now, solar cell is very interesting when it comes to energy. It first, you will have to make sure that the sunlight is coming to that device. So that's the connection. It's not like a wired connection. It's a subtle connection of the energy, right? So your orientation ought to be right, and that orientation becoming right is part of your meditative practice. And then there is a capacity. So once you receive, then you need to have some ability to store that energy. So even like a simplest form would be a street light has a solar panel on top. It continues to be oriented towards the sun, grabs that energy, stores it, and at night when sun is not visible, that energy is used to light that street lamp. Similarly, you could do the same. So you basically manifest that transcendental, that cosmic energy, and through that meditative practice, evolve and basically enlarge your capacity to both to receive and store. And once that happens, there will be times when you're not oriented right, but that stored energy would come handy. So my father's example used to go a little further. He used to say that you got to have that orientation. So the device needs to be oriented towards the sun. Similarly, a guru or a mentor or a person who has advanced his meditative practice or satsang would figure out ways to orient himself towards the source of energy. That's also referred to as tavazze. Tavazze is a concept when you connect and you orient yourself towards the source of energy. Once you have done that, if you continually practice your meditation, you continue to manifest this transcendental energy, your capacity and your receiving capability continues to rise. So that is what practice does. So everybody says practice, practice, practice. Why? Because your orientation gets better, your receiving capability gets better, and your storage capability gets better, so that in the down times, you're able to leverage that energy which you have acquired through your meditative practice sessions. And group sessions, collective energy is higher, so those help a lot as well. So orientation, connection, receiving and storing, and then that's basically the concept here.
Right. So let's get into the practice now. So we'll sit in a still and relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed. And then, as we were just listening, manifest this transcendental energy in its purest form, and just observe and connect and orient towards the source of this energy, and see that this transcendental energy in form of light is entering your heart and distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. When mind wanders away, just bring it back to this thought and this thought alone. So inward orientation, and then focus on manifesting this transcendental energy. And so we'll start with music that helps the concentration, and then we go deep into the silent meditation, and then we transition out with music again. Let's start. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hello, Jeff, Omkar, Anita ji, Renu ji, KP Singh ji.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was just thinking one thing, that people think about doing some good things in life, um, but whatever you do, it will last only for certain time. But if you create something that can continue going, so like the Guru Maharaj used to say
Hmm.
that I am fan of the work that never ends. So like he actually started this, and like this has like never ending process. The only thing is like how we can uh, create more and more people who can continue taking this forward in future even after us.
See, I think I sometimes think that the first thing we need to do is to do it for ourselves, right? It's if you embody that energy, if you see, basically, it was like when he achieved what he needed to achieve, and then he said like, okay, this needs to now go forward. um, so I think the best contribution, best thing to do is to first imbibe it yourself, right? On that note,
You got me.
and here comes hmm, yeah. So see, the thing is that first job is to just, you know, uh, when uh, I I don't know, it's like hard to express, but uh, when you implement it yourself, the rest happens. You know, it's just see. Sometimes I feel, what are we here for, right? Today, actually, I was thinking about that, and what are we here for is to take time out, relax, and enjoy the company. And the company is with Satsang, right? So implement that for yourself. And because now yourself is, you know, is moving from limited to limitless. So in that process, you just uh, bring that together in a way that it just becomes more and more accessible. But at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, it's like the beginning and the end of this is that you be in satsang. Then the rest happens. So, you know, whatever is happening to others is in a way more important, but in a way less important, because uh, what's happening uh, within us is in a way, you know, so integral to the growth of your own as well as the group. um, I don't know why, but I was also thinking that satsang used to be, you know, like literally soul to soul, or it, first you will be tested, then you will be, put into practice, and then very, very, very few people were selected to be part of this. And at the end of the day, I think that still is true, because you might open it up, you might, broadcast it, you might do whatever, but it's only those who really have realized that this inner peace needs to be achieved, and this is the process, and this is the way, so you kind of, it just funnel becomes smaller and smaller. But what I always find, that every time I think like, well, why am I traveling? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? What I find is that there is this one person that gets benefited. And when that one person gets benefited, for my entire lifetime, if one person gets benefited, I think it's worth it. So, I travel and one person gets benefited, done. ROI is positive. And even if it is not there, then also the ROI is positive, because you are in the process of making this happen for yourself. Because your growth will not happen till you start sharing. I think that's another thought that comes to me. It's like, when you're spiritually growing, at some point, if you don't give back, if you don't share, your growth will be hampered. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling.
That everything you said is like, that's true.
See, what happened was like, this year, one of the trips, and we went and we took a place. I personally, and I'm just not going to name names or even the place, and I didn't really like where we, were that much. But then there was one person who just wanted to have some inner peace and found it here, and like, boom, like, wow. So it's not about thousands and millions of people. It's about this one person, one at a time. And if it becomes thousands and it becomes millions, great. But I think like sometimes I feel people again and again say like, okay, virtual is not as effective as in person, and I'm completely in tune with that. But then I'm always for less effort, more return. It's like, if people have to travel less and still can meditate and connect to inner peace, and if that is, yes, it is less than what that in-person goal would be, but then I think if we keep the ball rolling in the way that somehow that gets to an in-person event, right? So you, I mean, I'm actually thinking that we need to tweak things a little bit, probably early next year. Some of these things that we have learned need to come together again. But that's what you're referring to. It's like the work continues.
Actually, I got my answer, you know. Uh,
No,
so
no,
I am responsible for, like, first I have to just focus on myself, and then
the rest
like
happens.
rest, yeah.
So the thing is that um, for your brain function, for your wisdom, for your thought processes to evolve, you need to continue this brain activity, you know. So when you socially meet in a satsang, that itself, so social interaction is huge brain activity. And so when I think about, like, thousands of people were engaging in satsang in India all through these past decades, several decades, you know, so uh, you know, that is keeping their uh, brains functioning in certain ways. The other thing is learning. So, you know, yes, we have to describe satsang to people here in the West in different terms and different ways, and we're still learning. But that's the key. We're learning. I think people ought to learn. Those who come need to learn, and people who are hosting need to learn. So it's a learning process, right? Maybe we're we're slow in learning, but we're still learning. And I think that learning will eventually get to a tipping point. Um, and I'm saying, yeah, I have time maybe to wait so that things come to that tipping point. So it's, you know, satsang, the meditation itself, in so many ways, is a learning process that never ends. It's a, you know, vertical progress that never ends, and it is, you know, so initially, so it, I think the pyramid is that initially it's more uh, personal or individual, and then it slowly needs to grow into more, uh, you know, uh, how you are affecting, influencing, and impacting people around you. So that's what leadership is. So leadership, where again you are humble, you are not important, but you're letting people around you grow towards being better human beings. So another thing that was running in my head is like, uh, what did Guru Maharaj's guru, the other Guru Maharaj, talk about? Being human, to be human. That's it. Is that difficult? Yeah. I am very convinced that to be human um, is not easy, because we again and again and again are tested to do the right thing. And how many times I've failed? I mean, I can just go on and on and on, right? How many times we fail? How many? It's not even fail is not the right thing. It's like so many times Vivek, or the ability to uh, discern, ability to make a decision which is good for yourself, and it's, you know, for greater good. Um, I don't think, you know, sometimes you make you know, a compromise, or you make shortcuts, you make sometimes morally, or, you know, based on even on your own values, you make decisions which are not appropriate. So anyway, I'm digressing. But yeah, it's so far as, you know, we can be in satsang, we are with the transcendental energy, we are at peace, all good. Okay, so on that note, I'll see you all soon. Good night. Bye, Jeff. Namaskar, KP Singh.